Hi, this is Anand from Geekstick. This is to explain about Git basics and to explain the file transaction across different stages.
Today we are going to see Git. It is just a short form of global information tracker. Initially they named something, but it sounds more appropriate to me. There are multiple, expansion for this acronym. Yeah. Now let's see. Because for example, in any CI/CD operations, the version control is one of the key factor. It can be a SVN or it can be any other tool, but Git is more prevalent now. Everywhere they are using Git only. Either it can be a GitLab or GitHub. In past we were using SVN. Then Unix, in my previous organization, I think I could recollect, it's a configuration control. It is comes with the HP, Unix or Linux. It comes with the default. Then Extra C, that is an altogether a different product. Sometimes we use Serena Dimension, and VSS is a Microsoft, I think, Visual Source Safe. Then the another tool is Lotus Notes also, that is, they are also having their own version control. So multiple version control system we use, but eventually everything when it comes, it will be like check-in, check-out. Check-in from where? From the remote repository. There will be no intermediate repos will not be there in the other version control mechanism. From your working directory to the remote repository, all you need to do is check-in, check-out, nothing else in between. And that is also convenient, but it is having lots and lots of stages. So we will have complete control. In any distributed mechanism, whether it is a monolithic application or a distributed application, because nowadays no application can't be stand alone by itself, right? The responsibilities will be delegated to someone, and moreover the work will be distributed across multiple developers in a team, right? So all the developers, they will make their development and they will push their code into that repository. So in a team, there will be a person will be allocated for integrating all the efforts. So how he will get those codes or get those development? He can't go to the individual developer and he can ask him to share the file. So in that way, it will be like working in silos, but exactly it's not in silo, right? The code will be pulled from the remote repository and he will put it in a bowl and he will shake it up and he will give it as a final product. For our example, we are going to focus on GitHub. Yeah, let's see how we are going to use this. Today we are going to see a very basic the basic operations only. Now we are going to see how the file will be transferred from our machine to the repo. For that, first we need to understand how the Git flow works. Here the working folder is the actual folder that we are working, that is from our local machine. In case of Windows, it will be C:/test, or in case of Linux or Unix, we will call it as home/Unix or test. Something would be there. So first we need to create our own files, or already we'll be having some working files in our project, right? So those files we need to move it to remote repo or Git hub. Yeah, today for our example we are going to use GitHub only. So the next is staging area, then local repo, then finally a remote repo. In other conventional source control mechanism, it will be like this only: working folder, remote repo. All you have to do is check out, check in, commit, rollback. That's it. So for rollback, always will go to the version control administrator, simply we cannot roll back or we can delete the version because it's a very serious issue. So every developer, if they give control, they can simply they can wipe out and they can go off. So rollback, it'll have some restriction, but anyhow, now it is not a direct impact on the remote repo. It will have lots of control will be given to the developers, and to maintain a multiple version and some smart merge, everything we can do it here. Now what we are going to do, the file is in the working folder now. The moment you say add, whatever I say, whatever the command here I am showing, you need to add git in front of it. That's it. Before that, we need to start with init. When you say init, there will be some hidden folder will be created called .git. Any folder, if it prefixed with the dot, it will be hidden. But even then you can see by using the command ls-a. There are two things will be created in the Git, the staging area and local repo. Staging area is nothing but the index. For any files, first the index needs to be created. How you are going to create index? By using add command. First we are going to start with git init. Then after that, if you add git add, you can give a specific file name, or if you give dot, all the files will be taken. Add, the file will be pushed to the staging area. I mean, not pushed, its index will be created, right? Then based on that index, if you say commit, git commit -m and that in the double quotes, or you have to give the comment, exactly what you have done in this file check-in. If you say commit, all the files will be pushed to the local repo. From there, actually I should not use the word push. The reason is push is one of the keyword in the Git. So all the file will be moved to local repo on commit. Then from there, if we say push, it will be pushed to the remote repository. Okay, there are 2 or 3 developers in a team. Everyone, they made their code change and they pushed to the remote repo. So daily morning, the moment I come, what I need to do, I need to pull all the latest changes, right? Otherwise, what will happen? Your code will be relying on someone's development for your testing. You will keep complaining, oh, his changes, still he didn't complete the work. But actually, what you would have done is, you should have pulled the code first. After that only you have to raise a ticket, or you can contact him. Look here, my code is relying on yours, and yesterday you should have completed, but still it is not working. Before calling it up, before call out, you need to pull all the code from the remote repo all the way to the working folder. It's something like in a conventional way of checkout. Again, here checkout is a different meaning here. Checkout is like setting a branch. To which branch? By default, always will be a master branch. So if you can create your own branch, and if you say git checkout that branch name, it will be pointing to that branch. The next is a clone. For example, if you decided to work on a new folder, then you have to clone the code. So when it comes to a remote repo, there are only 3 commands when it's accessible: push, pull, clone. That's it, right? So we need to be very clear about this flow diagram. Working folder, staging area, local repo, remote repo, add, commit, push, pull, clone. That's it. Today we are going to see all these commands in detail with some real-time demo. Let us go to the demo now.